Hello, everyone. In today's episode, we go through some of the big races and ballot measures in next week's elections, Zohran Mamdani, J.D. Vance's relentlessly dishonest tweeting, and Donald Trump's really hard test about animals. Oh, hi! Welcome back to Even More News, the first and only news podcast. I'm Katie Stoll, that is.
Ooh, that's the name that I like to hear at the beginning of these episodes, because otherwise, who are you?
Right?
And who am I? Cody Johnston.
Cody Johnston.
Coming at you, co-hosting
the
show.
house, in his house.
Yes.
Jonathan is also here.
Hi.
Hell yeah. There it is. Awooga.
Awooga, my friends. Fucking love Awooga. I've been saying
Jamaica.
that a lot lately.
Ooh, all right.
As we told you on Monday, no Some More News episode this week. Just more of this crew, which I'm sure we're all pumped for.
Look at us being pumped.
You know what? I've been doing this for years and I almost forgot about holidays. But we have a weird one for you today, folks. Thursday, October 30th is Haunted Refrigerator Night. I'm going to be real. It never once occurred to me that my fridge might be haunted. And now it's all I'm going to think about, especially at nighttime after I've smoked some weed.
I mean, Ghostbusters, I feel like, did for the refrigerator what
but that's
Jaws
just
did
a
for the
movie.
ocean.
That's the documentary.
That's just a movie. That's not real, Jonathan.
Like
idiot.
the ghosts that,
not
that
like,
are here.
Oh, yeah, like a little ghost dog in a refrigerator. Okay, Jonathan.
So are
now,
you
let me tell you about what
Sure.
happened here recently.
So, Katie, do you resent Ghostbusters and movies like it for sort of like downplaying the
Yeah, for
reality of
fictionalizing.
ghosts? Yeah.
Interesting question. Sure. Yeah, I do. I resent it.
Sure. All right.
Well, not the original Ghostbusters, because that's a classic.
The second one has a bathtub thing, too. It's pretty scary.
Yeah. Second one's good too.
Or was to.
Not
I
sure I
stand
ever
by
saw
it.
it.
I stand by the second one.
Oh, yeah. It's good.
The
I
second
haven't
one's
seen any
not
of the new shit.
the Paul Feig
They
one, right?
are.
No, they're bad. I have issues with the all lady one.
I do too. And they're different issues from the other ones.
Yeah.
You
I
hate it
love
because it's all
women.
ladies and it ruined your childhood,
that's
right,
what it
Cody?
is.
That's what you were
Thank
telling
you.
me.
Yes. I mean, that's
earlier.
what I was telling you quietly about our man problems, which includes Lady Ghostbusters. I can just say wokeness, actually. Then we can end the
all
conversation
wokeness.
there. Yeah, okay, we agree. Okay, all wokeness.
I really wanted Lady Ghostbusters to be good.
Yeah, it would have been. There was a great cast.
I liked it.
You did?
Yeah, I remember enjoying it. I was like, okay, cool. But I, forgot about it somewhat promptly after seeing it.
On account of us having so many podcasts this week, we decided to try and focus a little bit. No, we're going to talk about elections because we got some elections next week, and now's the time to talk about it.
Elections. We've got next Tuesday is election day. There are a number of key races and propositions around the country that people are going to be watching. Let's go through some of them.
Let's talk about it.
Okay.
Let's figure out what is going on with this voting situation. Is it possible? Who is it for? What can you do to get out there, folks, and make a change? You know? This is me now. This is how I am.
You
I
know?
decided.
So the first one that we're going to go through is the big one in our backyards and front yards. It's the whole state is California's Prop 50. That is the ballot initiative put forward by Gavin Newsom that would set aside the state's current election maps, which were drawn by an independent redistricting commission in favor of a map drawn specifically to help Democrats win more seats in Congress, which was done specifically to counter Texas's mid-decade redistricting. But since it's in the California Constitution that it's independent, we have to have a ballot proposition to get around that for the next few cycles. And so it's the only thing on our California ballot by the way. I don't know if you guys have received yours and voted yet.
Yep. Already
Yes,
voted.
yes
Already
and
voted.
no.
Yes. So recent polling suggests that the measure is likely to pass by up to 20 points. More than 4 million ballots have already been returned. State officials say the early return is likely due to the fact that it's the only thing on the ballot. It's easy to fill out and send back, and we still have mail-in voting in this great state. So that's going to happen probably.
Seems like it, yeah.
It is probably going to happen. I have mixed feelings about it. It sucks because we have to do this. And we have to do this because of what conservatives are doing across the country, specifically in Texas. The most egregious example of gerrymandering. We've covered that on this show. It's absurd, the districts they're trying to connect. And so here we are bending over backwards to do what we can to mitigate the damage from that. And it sucks because we do have an independent commission to deal with this. And I wish we didn't have to be in this position because it can come back and bite us at another point in time. It's not great, but it is what we need to do.
Yeah, the alternative is nothing. It's got, we also have, gerrymandering tends to be pretty anti-democratic for a lot of reasons. We've talked about it in the past, but it's at least we can have a veneer of democracy over our anti-democratic actions. We're voting on whether or not to do it. It's not just them saying they're going to do it. But yeah, if we don't do it, then it's the other option is nothing, which means that there's no combating what the GOP is trying to do.
Yeah, it means Democrats need to win by 10 or 12 points in the midterms to take the House.
Which maybe they can do because of all the things we've talked about.
But it's like, everyone needs to play by the same rules. So I would be in support of national legislation that every state has to have an independent commission draw the districts. To ensure ultimate fairness, but we're not doing that. They're certainly not doing that.
They do not want to do that, yeah.
So, we have to encourage Illinois to keep going, Virginia to do what they're talking about doing because they've got Indiana and potentially Florida and who knows how many. And then once that Voting Rights Act thing goes through that we talked about with the Supreme Court, that's a dozen more seats in the South. It's getting bleak.
Especially in my community, it's a little weird right now because there's so many no on 50 signs around.
Which makes sense. They're going to have their representation taken away.
I don't think it affects this
maybe not them
district.
specifically, but if the measure passes, there's going to be districts held by 5 Republicans that are basically gone. Doug LaMalfa, Kevin Kiley, David Valadao, Ken Calvert, and Darrell Issa. Democrats get stronger opportunities in all the swing districts, and they would see their margins of victory in some districts drop by 10 to 20 points, but they have such huge margins of victory there that it wouldn't matter. Also, they're shoving a bunch of GOP voters into this one district in Riverside, where young Kim, the Republican, currently has the seat, and it was kind of a swingy district before that was seeing some Democratic challengers, and now that effectively ends those Democratic challenges. But that's how this works. You got to put voters somewhere in order to... it's just really depressing and cynical that, here's the voters in each area that will count, and, it almost makes you want to just look at the popular vote in each state and then decide where the districts go, based on that proportion. Probably wouldn't work that way, but right now you just got guys drawing lines on the map, carving up cities,
just
into
seeing
3 and 4
what's the most effective way.
It's a joke.
It is what it is. Again, I don't feel great about it. I don't feel, but it is. You got to do what you got to do.
But Katie, consider if we didn't do that, would you feel great then?
No.
So there's no feeling great. So might as well.
Yeah, exactly.
It's funny, the attitude, because in order to kind of justify everything that's happened, Republicans have had to frame it as if, not California, but Democrats did this first, that Texas is only doing what it initiated because of how gerrymandered, say, Illinois was. But if you look at the entire country as a whole, yes, there are some Democratic gerrymandered-ish states, but it's kind of not really in comparison to what they do in a lot of these smaller states and southern states, and what they're going to do in Louisiana once the VRA Section 5, I think, is gone, what they're doing in Texas right now. The idea that the playing field hasn't been level for them, and now they're flipping it around. It's almost like the every accusation is a confession type dynamic, where they have to be the victims of how they're victimizing other people.
Yep. That's how it goes.
They don't care. So, what are you going to do?
You're going to lie is what you're going to do.
Yeah.
What are you going to do? Just lie.
And what we're going to do is put a Prop 50 on the ballot in California and do our best to counteract it.
Another thing we're going to do is take a quick break.
If you know me, you know I am always on the run. Work commitments, social commitments, bake sales, escaping a T-800 from the future who thinks I'm crucial to stopping the next cyborg war. It never ends. Well, fortunately, I found a solution for activewear that feels great and doesn't break the bank. Fabletics! When I signed up as a new VIP, I got 80% off everything. And after that, the membership is about $60 a month unless I skip. I have been getting top-notch quality workout gear that other brands were charging me $200 a piece for. Seriously, folks. I work out almost every day and I basically live in leggings. And as you know, I recently moved to the mountains and there's no malls nearby to buy stuff. So instead of spending a fortune on athletic clothes online, Fabletics helps me feel comfortable and cute with entire outfits that I genuinely love. Like this thing, look, it's got little thumb holes, and they sent me this jacket, which I love, and there's like matching brown leggings, and also this little guy, it's a cute sweater. Honestly, full outfits, it's amazing. So if you are super active, struggle with how expensive workout clothes are, and have a robotic endoskeleton covered by living tissue chasing you relentlessly, then this service could be for you. So treat yourself to gear that looks good, feels good, and doesn't break the bank with Fabletics. Go to fabletics.com/SMN and sign up as a VIP and get 80% off everything. That's fabletics.com/SMN to sign up as a VIP and get 80% off everything. And I just want to quickly highlight that this is a monthly subscription service. That's how they can give you the good deals, but you can pause or cancel at any time. Awesome. This is top quality activewear, so you can comfortably sneak into Cyberdyne Systems headquarters and look good while you do it. Fabletics.com/SMN. Thumb holes!
Whether you get your news from the internet, the TV, the radio, or from TV on the radio, it can be really overwhelming these days. You'll just be listening to the news on your commute, and suddenly the United States military will be blowing stuff up right above the freeway. It's bedlam, I tells ya! And that's why I recommend Ground News, a website and app we specifically wanted to sponsor us, which you can access via the QR code on the screen. They gather news from hundreds of sources and compare coverage. I've been working with Ground News for a long time, and that is for a reason. I think they're one of the most powerful solutions for getting to the truth of a story, given all the spin you will see online. For example, once you're safely where you're going and not on the exploding freeway anymore, you can see how the Marines were doing a weird display for some reason over the Interstate 5 freeway, and how shrapnel fell from the sky and would have hit civilian cars had the governor not closed the freeway as a precaution. On Ground News, I can see how multiple different outlets covered that story and what they chose to focus on. It really clarifies the news for me and makes it easier to move on after my commute resembles the Roland Emmerich film 2012. So head over to ground.news/SMN for 40% off unlimited access. You'll get a factuality analysis of each source and their blind spot feature to see which stories are being ignored by a certain segment of the media. That's ground.news/SMN for 40% off. Don't do it while driving. That's a terrible idea, unless shrapnel is already raining down on you. So the link is in the description. The TV is on the radio. The me is a wolf like me. Whatever.
If you've ever been in the market for a new home, you know home shopping can be a lot. There's so much you don't know and so much you need to know. What are the neighborhoods like? What are the schools like? Who is the agent and who knows the listing or neighborhood best? And why can't all this information just be in one place? Well, now it is on Homes.com. They've got everything you need to know about the listing itself. But even better, they've got comprehensive neighborhood guides and detailed reports about local schools. And their agent directory helps you see the agent's current listings and sales history. Homes.com collaboration tools make it easier than ever to share all this information with your family. It's a whole cul-de-sac of home shopping information, all at your fingertips. Homes.com. We've done your homework.
6, 7. You know how the kids are saying 6, 7 for some reason? Well, I'm one of the kids, you see. I am youthful and translate well to the 15 to 24 demographic. Yes, indeed. And to that end, 6, 7. I wanted to get myself some hip new clothes that accurately reflect my youthfulness. To that end, I got myself some jeans from the Perfect Jeans. And let me tell you, they aren't lying. No cap, I mean. No cap. These babies are soft, stretchy, and fit perfectly. They make me look 6 years younger and feel 7 years better. That's right, I feel 22 again because I am only slightly older than that. I have Ritz, you see. It's Riz. I've Riz. The point is, look, there's no more chafing or flat butt with the Perfect Jean. When you wear these things, people will be saying, "Gat." To you again. Yat. What? Look, it's finally time to stop crushing your balls in uncomfortable jeans by going to theperfectjean.nyc. Our audience gets 15% off your first order plus free shipping, free returns, and free exchanges when you use code MORENEWS15 at checkout. 15%! That's 6 plus 7 plus 2. 15% off for new customers at theperfectjean.nyc with promo code MORENEWS15. After you purchase, they'll ask you where you heard about them. Please support our show and tell them we sent you. Fuck your khakis. Fuck them. And get the Perfect Jean. It's giving advertisement. Do you want to talk about all the lies about Zohran Mamdani?
Yeah.
Yeah, but first I want to say I like him so much. I wish
very good at this.
that I had I wish that he was in California and I could go to one of his rallies because his rally this week looked so inspiring.
Getting flashbacks.
14,000 people showing up to watch him and AOC and Bernie and Hochul talk. And it's inspiring. It speaks to this moment in time. Not that I can say that you can emulate everything that's happening in New York City and put it everywhere exactly, but it speaks to what people desperately want and need and real actual change, someone that's actually speaking to the needs, to the crisis at hand.
Yeah, it's cool to see. It's I think speaks to kind of what we talked about last week, I guess, a little bit, but just sort of like it's twofold. The things he's saying are good and sound good to people, and people even little things like, we're gonna like tax like 2% on the wealthy, like we're gonna tax the rich a little more. Being able to say that very, very openly and proudly and without fear of like, well, how are you gonna blah blah blah?
Right.
Why do people do this? So being able to say those things, and he's just very good at this. He's a very charismatic
likable
person. He was on one of those
Flagrant. He was on Flagrant.
Yeah, he's one of the guys. He's great. He's so great at just being a person, and that's the thing. Where like you need to like say the things that people actually like are like, oh yeah, I agree with that. I want to do that, and be a real person who can hang. And who can also be on, the Sunday shows and be asked maybe a dishonest question or maybe an aggressive question and respond in a way that doesn't seem defensive and doesn't seem like you're not sure how to answer. He is very good at redirecting stuff to get back to like the core issues that matter. When he's being asked a dishonest question, he's very, very talented.
Yeah. Did either of you watch or listen to the Flagrant episode at all? I think there was
I saw
some
clips. I saw a couple
circulating.
I can't.
Yeah, but it speaks everything you just said, that you can put him in different environments and speak to people because he's real. He had this one moment on there, and this was clipped out, so a lot of people probably did see it, where I forget the billionaire.
Bill Ackman.
There's so many. I thought it was Ackman, spending money, trying to millions of dollars to stop him, to try to keep him from getting elected. And Mamdani is just like, the irony is he spent more than I would have taxed him. He has spent more trying to defeat me than what I would have even.
Yeah, and turning it into a bit, turning it into a joke. And they seem to enjoy it.
Yes, he is resonating. It is powerful and inspiring. And people are working overtime to try and discredit him.
Yeah, the unfortunate thing is, so there's like those two elements, but we've been avoiding talking about this. He also wants to do Sharia law, and that's a problem. It's gonna be a problem, folks.
Because it's my understanding that Sharia law is quite unpopular nationwide, not just in New York City. So that's going to be a tough sell.
It's going to be a tough sell, but the kids these days, they just don't understand anything. So they're going to go for the Sharia communist.
Is it just the taxes that are like freaking them out? I know they say a bunch of stuff about 9/11 and a lot of racist, disingenuous.
Oh yeah, you got
racist.
You got to talk about
taxes.
But it's really they just don't want to be taxed a little bit more.
Universal child care. Yeah, they don't like people having childcare. They don't like grocery stores.
I think the main thing, taxing people, I think, is the big one, but also what he's going to use it for, right? Because even I haven't even heard. I feel like the childcare is like an issue where, like, if you brought it to the forefront, Republicans and like any senators would have to be like, yeah, we agree, we should do that. But like the free buses, people don't like, because they think like, well, they're going to turn into like a homeless encampment on wheels or whatever. The grocery store thing, I think. Also, there's the talking about defund the police, all the
stuff
lefty
he said stuff he tweeted in 2020,
all the 2020 stuff, exactly.
Right.
What's scary for me, it's like so much pressure on this one person in this one place to follow through on these campaign promises, while a huge, well-funded machine will be working this overtime the entire time to stop him. And that is the next hurdle. That is the next thing that I think about, is what happens if things don't go exactly as planned. Because you have to imagine that it's going to be difficult to, without watering things down, without compromising. It's a mayor. And there's all this national attention, and all of us are looking to this as a case study. And so I just want to say that and keep that in mind, because it probably won't be perfect.
But it also doesn't matter whether it works or not, because they're going to go with the narrative that it's a complete disaster no matter what, right? We had more progressive DAs briefly in San Francisco and Los Angeles. No real indication that it was driving those cities into lawlessness, or that criminals were just running free out of the prisons. That didn't happen, but they just said that that's what happened, and it became this narrative, right? We did an episode about this a few years ago where the media heard it so much they kept saying it and repeating it, like, oh yeah, there's a crime and shoplifting epidemic, and defund the police really didn't work, despite the fact that we didn't do it anywhere. And so they're going to do that. They're going to do that here if he wins and implements anything. Even if he tries and fails to implement it, they'll still say, like, this is why you can't have a young Muslim progressive mayor. Look at what happens. And it's just the city of New York.
No matter what, if he wins, that worked. His campaign worked. He won against disgraced legacy Andrew Cuomo. Like, I don't know, how do you describe that guy who just will not go away? I wonder if that's indicative of other types of his behavior. They will zero in on, like, oh, you got to do videos like this, you got to do this, and ignore the message, ignore the fact that he is a uniquely charismatic, talented, like, politician, and ignore the substance of his campaign and just sort of go for the aesthetics and adopt that part of the popularity, no matter what, whether he is successful or not successful.
Sure.
But all the successes will be diminished and downplayed and resisted, and all of the failures that are probably common for mayors, especially mayors of New York, like, well, I tried to do this, I couldn't do it. Those will be highlighted, and they will any instance of crime.
Oh, if an individual crime happens during his tenure as mayor, it's his fault.
They will be looking for and begging for any like event, any individual like crime or event or thing that they can elevate to a high profile. Like, look, it's because of the policies that this happened.
It's because of that grocery store that this crime happened.
Exactly. Oh God. Imagine if a crime happened on one of the free buses or at the grocery store. Oh, they'll love that so much.
I don't want to go down this path anymore because
Sure.
while I acknowledge, and I brought it up.
No, you're right. We don't need to.
That is certainly going to be a part of this. But that doesn't mean that he won't be successful. That doesn't mean that there won't be material improvement to people's lives. You got to give it time. You got to let the guy
and
cook.
probably some disappointments for people who were like, oh, I thought he was going to do more. I thought he was going to do this. He had to make this deal or give this up or do whatever.
And I do think that a little bit on all of us in general is to keep the eyes on the prize of being realistic about what works and what doesn't, but saying, look at why he got elected. Look at what people are begging for. Look at what people desperately need, and use that as the case study. Anyway,
well, let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Hopeful.
He has not
if
won
he
yet.
wins, he has not won
It's
yet.
true.
And some of the early voting returns this weekend were heavily Boomer and Gen Z. I think half of the returns were over 55. So, well,
they got to go on. They got to go on the day. They got to go on the day to get the selfie, right?
I guess, yeah. Well, we have to hope.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm gonna say for now.
Let's talk about some of these lines of attack that not just in New York, that very prominent national Republicans are throwing at him, because you got to go after the guy running for mayor of the biggest city. It's New York.
Yeah, and it speaks to the sort of state of, I think, the Democratic Party, where like we don't have a lot of strong leaders or people you can point to, like, oh, you're like the person who represents the party. And this race, in a lot of ways, to a lot of people, is that decision. Even though it's one mayoral race, it is like, well, where's the leadership going? What's the direction of the party going? And so I think that's where a lot of the focus is coming from, where they're like, we got to destroy this so this doesn't become the thing.
I want to play a clip of Zohran Mamdani speaking, and he's talking about Islamophobia here, and there's a quote in here that is being used as this is such a scandal that he said this.
I want to speak to the memory of my aunt. Who stopped taking the subway after September 11th because she did not feel safe in her hijab.
Can you believe
How awful that
he would say that?
Why would he say that 9/11 didn't matter and needed to happen and we deserved it? Why did he say that? Why did he say that there were no victims on 9/11 other than his aunt?
So you're probably referring to this tweet from J.D. Vance where he said, according to Zohran, the real victim of 9/11 was his auntie who got some allegedly bad looks.
I hate him so much.
Piece of trash vice president we have is so fucking, he's
vile. He's vile. That is a disgusting thing to say.
what a weaselly little lie. Like, we can watch the clip, man. What are you talking about? Perpetual victim JD Vance, but actually I'm the victim now because I'm offended for America for this thing that he didn't say.
Yeah, I'm sure if we
so
watched the entire speech, this was 25 seconds out of a speech, the rest of which must have been about how 9/11 was good and he liked it, and the only bad thing about it was all of the alleged Islamophobia.
Alleged.
Well
like-
documented Islamophobia, especially in New York City after 9/11. Come on now.
It's just absurd. I hate
This
it so much.
it is absurd. Obviously, everyone, he said nothing of the sort. It feels wild to even try to even like give any credence to this, to talk about it. But like, this is a very important point that he's making. This was a national tragedy, and the fallout from it put a target on the back of a significant population of people in this country, in that city. And his entire life, he's dealt with that, standing in front of a community of people. It's important. It's an important point. And especially as we're seeing it in full force right now. It's being hurled at him all the time, every day on the campaign. It's just madness.
He's running to be mayor of New York. He can talk about like the Muslim experience in New York City. It's so stupid. JD Vance is a big pile of garbage, and it's so frustrating because he does this all the time. He pretends about things that we can see and hear very, very plainly. It's this new tick he has, apparently, because in this tweet it says, according to Zohran, the real victim of 9/11 was Auntie, who got some allegedly bad looks. Okay, great. Add a period to your sentence. You're the vice president. Show some fucking decorum. But a day later, Mehdi Hassan just tweeted something about there's some like threads going on about Charlie Kirk again, and he tweeted like, yeah, just a reminder, like, yeah, Charlie Kirk was a racist and he said these sort of things. There's like a tweet being shared around. A reminder what a racist bigot Kirk was and how much hate he incited against minorities. That's true. That's what he did. He did it. There are examples being shared in that thread. So JD Vance, the vice president, decided to take time out of his day to quote tweet that intentionally. According to Mehdi Hassan, the real victim of hatred was not the guy murdered by a left-wing lunatic, but people like Mehdi who for facing criticism of their views. That's not what he said either. This brand new thing that JD Vance loves to do, which is to say, according to blank, something they didn't say means they're the real victim, but actually, I'm the real victim.
Right. It's according to JD Vance, people of color being a victim of anything ever means that white people have never been victims of anything ever. That's what you're saying.
That's
right.
What...
If you are a person of color saying this thing shouldn't have happened, you're actually saying that nothing bad that has ever happened to a white person matters. That's what you're saying.
And in fact, maybe it's good that those things, bad things happen to them. Like, it's just nonsense. And it's wild that he did it twice in a row. It's weird. Like, he's like, oh, I can start doing this now. Here's my new phrase that I'm going to do.
It's a very, very childish and immature way of thinking. Obviously, the stakes
he's 12.
are all, he's 12, grown up stakes, but at the core, it's like, nuh-uh, because what about what happened to me? What about me? What about me? The inability to wrap your mind around, basic empathy. The basic of like, oh, instead of reflecting like, it really bothers me when XYZ happens to me. Now extrapolate that and apply it to someone else is getting piled up on by everybody. Just fucking grow up. But it does appeal. You're right. It's the 12-year-old phenomenon that we're living through. It's
also not even, it's frustrating. It's what you're saying is very true and frustrating.
Thank you.
It's extra frustrating from him because it's not that he has the inability to conceptualize these things or the inability to empathize or the inability to think in that way.
Chooses not to.
It's the lack of willingness because he knows he's not supposed to. He's supposed to spread lies. That's his job. So it's doubly frustrating where it's like, but you know better. You know what he's saying. You know it's not according to this person, this thing they didn't say. He knows. But he got his likes, so...
He's become more and more this way from everything that I understand. He used to be... Remember, he has a trans friend that was one of his best friends.
Yep.
And that now... But that's gone. So it's not that I have more grace for somebody that is so deeply ignorant to their core and always has been, but there's a special element of evil to consciously choose this day in and day out, to constantly choose this in terms of his own political career, weaponizing everything against everybody else. So yeah, fuck you, JD Vance.
He is signaling to MAGA, I'm the guy. Once he's gone, I'm the guy. You can rely on me. Forget about all the everyone I know and all this stuff, where I went to school, all that stuff. Yeah. I'm the guy, and I will not let you down because I'm gonna dunk on him. That's that. I'm gonna be dunker in chief.
I'm gonna keep posting, and I'm gonna keep doing the triggering.
Dunker in chief,
love,
DIC. It works.
Biding his time. He's got to feel all sorts of ways about everybody floating Trump's third term plan. I know we've mentioned this before, but like, run as JD Vance as president and Trump vice president, and then just swap them out. The fuck?
Even Trump was like, that's too cute.
That's not
ridiculous.
Yeah.
But imagine being JD Vance, where everyone's conversation is like, let's just fucking fuck over this guy.
He's just praying
he's
for
just
that.
Gotta
that
take that shit, eat that shit every day. Yum yum yum. Let me eat this shit. Came out of the president.
It's like a cuck chair, but the chair is the Iron Throne.
Exactly.
And he's like,
in the corner.
That's your chair,
Joke's on
JD.
you. I love the taste of shit.
Yeah. According to me, I love shit and eating
This is delicious and nutritious.
He's just joining in. Is this weird, like, he's like Ted Cruz, but he doesn't have the voice. He has a different annoying voice, so he is succeeding. They both grew a beard because they know they have to. Like, they're just the same poster guy. They both wish they were podcast hosts only.
Ted Cruz's podcast is pretty popular.
It's the most popular of all the unpopular.
You know what's not so
political
popular? You know what podcasts aren't so popular? Triggered with Don Jr.
Oh,
people don't like that. People aren't interested in the vice president.
Unmuted with Marsha Blackburn with its 182 average monthly downloads.
That's not a lot.
That's what the list says.
182?
The Washington Post listened to all the podcasts from potential 2028 candidates, and Verdict with Ted Cruz and This is Gavin Newsom are the ones that are like very popular. Hold These Truths with Dan Crenshaw does all right, and the rest are like, I'm shocked that Stephen A. Smith's non-sports show has very little listenership.
I am and I'm not. Where it's like, well, you do your little political rants anyway. I don't need to listen to a podcast of them.
It's not great. So, this podcast, it's very nice to know we have a stronger audience by like an order orders of magnitude than Don Trump Jr.
Well,
we did it.
We are the president's son now, and we will do the podcasting. And the cocaine?
Blasted nutrients! We need them to live, and at the moment, eating is the only way to get them. Where's my Soylent Green already? I won't look up what that is, but I've got the next best thing, which is Hungry Root. Hungry Root takes the stress out of mealtime by filling your cart with personalized picks and planning your entire week of meals. They've got over 15,000 recipes to choose from each week, 0 in pill form. But delicious, nutritious, and many ready to eat in 15 minutes or less. That's like a nutrient pill future, kind of, right? And their best price program ensures you get great value on over 100 popular products. Plus, with our special offer, you'll get a free item, like a premium protein, veggie, or sweet treat in every box for life of your Hungry Root subscription, of course. Even if Soylent Green does exist at some point, you can still get your free veggie. I assume Soylent Green is veggies. It'll be a novelty, and you can charge money for people to come into a little tent and look at your rutabaga. Come on, folks! I got a rutabaga! So take advantage of this exclusive offer. For a limited time, get 40% off your first box, plus get a free item in every box for life. of the subscription. Go to hungryroot.com/SMN and use code SMN. That's hungryroot.com/SMN, code SMN, to get 40% off your first box and a free item of your choice for life of the subscription. hungryroot.com/SMN, code SMN. I forgot how it goes. Code SM? I forget how it goes.
When I first started my ambient music podcast, Stolected Ambient Works Volume 2, it felt like I had to do everything. Logos, recording schedules, props, setting up the Moog synthesizer. It was overwhelming. And finding the right tool that simplifies everything can be a game changer. For millions of businesses, that tool is Shopify. Shopify is the commerce platform behind millions of businesses around the world and 10% of all e-commerce in the US. They have ready-to-use templates to create a beautiful and professional online store that makes my listeners believe that Brian Eno himself is behind the keyboard. You can easily create email and social media campaigns wherever your customers are scrolling. And they have world-class expertise in everything from managing inventory to international shipping to processing returns. Running a business is now as relaxing as a double album from Stars of the Lid. So turn your big business idea into with Shopify on your side. Sign up for your $1 per month trial and start selling today at shopify.com/more news. Go to shopify.com/more news. Nifty sound. Maybe I can sample that. Ooh, cool.
Ah! This is it, folks! Halloween week! If you're not watching scary movies on Pluto TV for free, what even are you doing? Taking your kids trick-or-treating? Stop trying to guilt trip me! I'm getting down with fan-favorite horror movies on Pluto TV, like Paranormal Activity, The Ring, The Haunting of Beach House, Scream, World War ZZ Top, Bloody Ice Cream Sunday, The Call is Coming from Inside the Spouse, From Dusk Till Dawn, Garfield and Odie Get Rabies, Death by Killing, Chekhov's Nail Gun, Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, Killing by Death, Good Burger with E. coli, The Imaginarium of Dr. Giggles, and 28 Days Later. You've got a few more days, tops, to watch scary movies before it's a whole month of Thanksgiving movies. So, you know, planes, trains, and automobiles. Home for the holidays, I think? Charlie Brown's probably got one. And that's it. Pluto TV! Stream now! Pay never!
This ad is brought to you by Vive Healthcare, the makers of Apretude, cabotegravir. You never skip your SPF, and you carry hand sanitizer like an accessory. But what are you doing for HIV prevention? One way to help protect yourself from HIV is Apretude, a prescription medicine used to reduce the risk of getting HIV in adults and adolescents weighing at least 77 pounds. You must be HIV negative to receive Apretude and get tested before each injection. If you think you were exposed to HIV or have flu-like symptoms, tell your doctor right away. More HIV testing may be needed. Apretude does not prevent other sexually transmitted infections. Practice safer sex to reduce your risk. Get Apretude as scheduled. Missing doses increases your HIV risk. Don't take Apretude if allergic to it or taking certain medicines that may interact. Tell your doctor about your medical conditions, liver problems, and mental health. Serious side effects include allergic reactions or rash, liver problems, and depression. If these occur, get medical help right away. The most common side effect is injection site reaction. Bring your A game and talk to your doctor. Learn more at apretude.com or call 1-888-240-0340. Before we move on from the Mamdani conversation, one more quick little update about that whole
Oh,
thing,
yeah.
Jonathan?
Scandal
Or Cody.
City over here. Oh, no, we're going to go to Jonathan. Breaking news from Jonathan about this Scandal City. Oh, my gosh.
They're saying that he's telling the story about his aunt, but it's not his real aunt. And then he's like, yeah, it's my mom's cousin, and we called her aunt growing up. Period.
This pisses me off so much.
Oh, me too, but probably in
What
a
a
different
liar.
way. I'm mad because he's lying. Why are you mad, Kitty?
Because he's lying. No,
Yeah,
I'm mad
exactly.
at the liars lying about it.
Oh.
Shut the fuck up, you ghouls. You know his point. You get the point, right?
When I was a kid, there were like
of what he
20
was
old
saying.
people that I called uncle. Like, there's uncles all over the place.
I am Aunt Katie to all of my friends' children.
And me. You know, like, it's just what you call
Yeah,
people
I'm your
sometimes.
Aunt Katie, too.
Exactly. Ted Cruz obviously getting out there and saying that this is what an egregious lie from Zohran
Ted Cruz is
Mamdani.
the Zodiac killer, so
Ted
whatever.
Cruz also furious about Zohran holding his fist up in the air and AOC waving because they think that anybody doing anything similar to raising your hand is exactly what Elon Musk did, which is not correct because what Elon Musk did was do a Nazi salute. We can show it if you
Multiple
want.
times.
Let's
Twice.
show it. Oh, look at that. Oh my God, there he is doing it. It's so obvious that that's what's happening. And then they just love taking any photo of a Democrat with their hand up. But just to put a little cap on this, I saved it. I clipped this the other day, and it's for our fellow podcaster, Ted Cruz. Maybe he's a senator too. I don't know. You wouldn't know it from talking to him, but here he is.
Actually, my podcast today, I do a podcast every week, Verdict with Ted Cruz.
Yeah. And now is Ted Cruz a senator? We can move on.
So what we're going to do now is I'm going to run through some of these remaining races and try to leave enough time to go through this Trump funny thing real quick. So there's a couple of governor's races that are being watched closely in New Jersey. It's a somewhat competitive race between Democrat Mikey Sherrill and Republican Jack Ciattarelli. New Jersey's kind of odd. It tends to go blue in presidential years, but there's a Democratic governor right now who's not very popular. So, maybe a back and forth thing. Right now, Mikey Sherrill is leading by like 5 to 10-ish points in polls. And then in Virginia, there is Democrat Abigail Spanberger, who is leading Republican Winsome Earl Sears. And that's probably not going to be as close of a race. Most recent polls show Spanberger leading by as many as 12 points. There's not many governorships opened from flipping GOP to Democrat this year. So that's a thing we're watching. And then
Virginia one's
You got to keep the
important.
National Guard out of your state. You got to get some
gotta keep
Democratic governors.
That's
to keep
one big reason to vote. Like, hey, which one of you will allow the National Guard to like traipse all over the place? Not you? Great.
Yeah, I said that jokingly, but like it's actually a consideration.
Yeah. And then in Maine, they have an initiative which covers both voter ID and changes to absentee voting. The voter ID part just requires that you show ID, a form of ID in person to vote. And then the absentee voting stuff just makes mail-in voting way more restrictive. It restricts the number of days you can request a mail ballot. It takes away the automatic mailing to them that you can sign up for. There's 7 or 8 different initiatives.
It doesn't expand it, which was
Yes.
intended to do.
This part of it specifically is egregious. I mean, all of it is, but it also ends the program that allows voters age 65 or older or disabled voters to have ballots automatically mailed to them. It's like, why? There are very, very good reasons. I know why. Very good reasons why you're mailing ballots to everybody, but especially people that might have difficulty getting to the polling place.
Yeah, they're not going to provide easy IDs for voting. They're not going to replace this with like, by the way, we're going to make sure that every single person has their ID or it has access to getting to the place they need to get for it. They're just not going to do that.
The voter ID law things, because at first blush, I get the instinct to be like, well, yeah, you should, I guess, have an ID to vote. Except that we've shown over and over again that voter ID laws does not affect, it doesn't mitigate. People aren't cheating. People aren't stuffing ballots. It does nothing to curb illegal voting practices. But what it does do is create huge barriers for people being able to vote. It disproportionately affects communities of color.
It's creating an extra barrier to a right, which is the right to vote.
And it's very transparent. They just want to make it harder for people who would vote that way to vote. Municipalities are going to be limited if this passes to one ballot drop box. And then towns can't include prepaid postage on ballot return envelopes. So yeah, you can get your mail-in ballot, but you either have to drive to this one drop box or go buy stamps, which you don't do anymore. Zero reason to do that. It's not like they don't have the money. All right. Do you want to talk about this Trump test stuff real quick?
Why not? You know what?
Sure, we're here.
Why not?
Should I start by playing the clip of him on Air Force One, yakking about it with
idea.
Marco?
Let's do that.
Little Marco standing behind him.
Yeah, there are a lot of clips we could show. The Trump president guy, I think Donald Trump, I think is his name. He's always yapping. He's always yapping, being asked stuff on planes and in the White House. And many of his answers don't make any sense. Many of his answers are spooky. He was asked recently about running in 2028, and he kind of shot it down. We don't need to get into that, but here's a question, and here's him talking about his mental acuity.
They have Jasmine Crockett, a low IQ person. They have AOC's low IQ. You give her an IQ test, have her pass the exams that I decided to take when I was at Walter Reed. Those are very hard, they're really aptitude tests, I guess, in a certain way, but they're cognitive tests. Let AOC go against Trump. Let Jasmine go against Trump. I don't think Jasmine, the first couple of questions are easy. A tiger, an elephant, a giraffe, When you get up to about 5 or 6, and then when you get up to 10 and 20 and 25, they couldn't come close to answering any of those questions.
It was really hard. It was really a hard test. He struggled with
an American hero.
Cody, do you have the test up?
I have a test. This is the Montreal Cognitive Assessment, and I don't know the version that he is talking about. Maybe it's not a widespread use. I don't know if he's took the same one. I'll just say that in his example, he said lion, elephant, giraffe.
Said tiger, elephant, giraffe.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. No, he even got that one wrong. Okay. Or maybe allegedly. He said tiger, elephant, giraffe. On this version that we have, it's lion, rhinoceros, camel. So I'll say he got the order right. So great job. He got the kind of vibes of the animals correct. Rhino, elephant, perfect. Okay. Camel, giraffe, long necks, perfect. You nailed it. 2 cats, tiger, lion, excellent. The right order. But they're the wrong animals. According to this test. Again, we don't know the exact
and also,
test.
Maybe he nailed this test weeks ago, so his memory is such that he even remembered there was an animal question on the test, which, by the way, he's talking about IQ. This is not an IQ test.
Yeah.
This is what I'm getting at. This is a cognitive decline test, correct?
He decided to take
cognitive assessment. My
decided
favorite part is that he said he decided to take this test. No, you didn't, man. Your doctor told you need to because they need to assess your cognitive abilities for reasons, man. You didn't say give me the IQ test, and then they gave you this cognitive assessment test where you have to draw a clock.
I've never heard a president talk, and he's done it in both terms now, talk about the cognitive decline test being given. And maybe he thinks it is an IQ test. I don't know.
That's how they sell it.
That's what he says. They're
thinks you want to test your IQ again? See if it's gone up?
Also, IQ, shut up. It's stupid. People who talk about IQ, we've talked about that. We know what that is.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And the fact that he only refers to brown and black women as low IQ people, like exclusively.
Only.
Notably, exclusively Jasmine Crockett, AOC.
He would do
you
it
like
to other
Marco
people, women
Rubio
of
right
color.
behind him, just being like,
Yeah. It's getting harder every day.
This is getting harder every day. Oh, God.
Yeah,
What a clip.
it does seem like a little bit of telling on himself here.
Yeah.
Not
but
a little bit, a lot.
A lot,
of it.
but also like in a way, because I mean the gag, the joke, the meme is that like, okay, Trump, draw a clock, because that is a part of these cognitive assessments. Draw a clock. And then they give you a time. You have to put what the time is. And he hasn't said that yet. He's focusing every time on like the animals or like the camera TV stuff.
Yeah.
Like objects. And I wonder if he knows. He's like, don't say the clock.
It'll make me
Don't
look
brag.
stupid
Don't brag about how you can draw a clock.
I don't know if you guys have gone back and watched it recently, but the original person, woman, man, camera TV clip, it hits me every time. Because it's like 3 minutes long, and then it keeps cutting back to the reporter, like smiling and nodding at him, explaining, like, and then they go back, like 15 questions later, they say, hey, remember that thing? Person, woman, man, camera TV. I swear, like, if you haven't watched it recently and you want to just like, all right, let me feel superior to this man for a bit, it helps. I know he's not funny because he's a monster. I know. But that one's that's a good one.
You gotta laugh a little bit. You gotta have a little bit of
Also, he in that Walter Reed Medical Center visit, he brought up in reference to it that he had an MRI done, which is not something you just get at your annual or biannual physical. They have to think maybe you got something in there.
Yeah, it's potentially something they're looking for, again, like sort of signs of Alzheimer's. I've heard some tech people mention who work with these machines, or screening for cancer or something like that. Or I'll just say, since he decided to take this cognitive test, maybe he decided to get an MRI because he, I heard those are big these days. Give me an MRI too. He's making the decisions, right? He's telling these doctors what tests to give him. So maybe it's just his idea.
I can't imagine requesting an MRI.
Just for the hell of it?
I can imagine him requesting an MRI.
Just like, I just want to lay in there and I want to hear those thumps and loud beeps for 20 minutes.
I don't know. They ordered a bunch of tests for to assess his health. So I don't know what it means, but he's a funny guy sometimes. It's fucked up and sad. Yeah,
he's never been healthier. Never been younger.
It's alarming the way he talks about this stuff sometimes.
It's why this third term stuff is so funny. Like, you're gonna be 82. And I know you're a cult leader and people are going to go down with the ship no matter what. But like a few years ago, a guy's candidacy completely crumbled because he was just seen as too old and out of it to do it. You're going to campaign again for a year, do all that stuff.
It's his favorite part.
I know. And he's going to keep giving speeches anyway.
Yeah, he's going to love it. He's going to.
Well, folks, here we are at the end of our program. I don't think he's got the juice to do it, but one day at a time.
Tiger.
1 day at a time.
We don't know if he doesn't have the
Giraffe.
juice. He's got to take that test. He's got to take another test. He's going to decide. Give me the juice test.
Give me the juice test.
Apple, orange, I can tell the difference. No one does it better than me. I can tell that that's a grape. No one's going to.
Some plums. See if he can notice that.
Sir, that's a blueberry.
That's ruby red. And no one ever tell me it's not ruby red.
It's not ruby red, sir.
Okay, we're done. You know what? We did it. We're here. We're at the end of the show. We survived the conversations. We survived the ads. All that's left is for me to tell you.
What?
We love you very much.
Much.